Today's topic is all about the dark and bright side of casual relationship. So when you saw the post, I have seen quite a few thumbs ups went up and saying nice topic and all. So I just want to leave the floor open and ask, what do you think of having a casual relationship in life, and do you have any experience, and what do you think are the dark and bright sides? Let's start talking.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear anybody.
I We can hear you very clearly, Sima. I'm not sure.
I'm not
Can you hear
able
me
to hear
now?
you. Um, I'll rejoin.
Okay, okay. All right. So others, you have just heard the question. Basically, as I said, we do not present anything on this on these calls because it's clearly said that it's a free, open discussion. So, what do you think about the topic, and what do you think of having casual relationships in life? What's your take on it?
So I think casual relationships are um, are um, like definitely it's not a kind of friendship or platonic relationship. It I This is what I assume of casual relationships. So it involves the benefits of a relationship, but without commitment or any emotional attachment, which I don't think won't happen to any one of the person. So this is what I understand from casual relationship.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Suchi. So yes, a casual relationship is that which has garnered a lot of attention, basically among millennials and also even older people. It's not that only millennials are getting into casual relationship, but what does casual relationship truly mean? Uh, I mean, how does a casual relationship differs from a romantic relationship or a sexual relationship or a friendship, right? So let me leave a floor open, or let others also share what do they think of casual relationship, and if they have experience in their own lives. Thanks for sharing that, Suchi. Anybody else would like to share? What do you think about it?
I can only pitch in if no one has anything to say.
Okay, so absolutely, Suchi, you're right. This is a relationship without really being committed in it, and why do people have these casual relationships? Do people really have these casual relationship, and for what reason?
So
Basically, there are several. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So I personally feel people get into it out of boredom or of not getting anything serious in life. So just for the sake of having something, or maybe out of their mess, they want something, not sure about where they're going, or without any thought, or out of boredom, or not having anything in life meaningful, they get into it. This is what I understand.
Absolutely, that's a very valid point, and I'm sure those people would agree who have signed up for our e-learning journeys. In that, there is a journey called core need of our humans. Core need, and one of the core need for humans that we come across is variety. As you rightly said, Sushi, human beings need variety. They get bored or the boredom. And that's why they get into these kind of relationship. And there are several reasons that two people might voluntarily prefer to be in casual relationship. You know, they would actually prefer because instead of a traditional full time uh, with a lot of emotionally and romantically committed relationship, many people I have come across when I was working in an IT organization, that these casual relationships, I keep seeing those, and this is exactly is what they need at their, at certain point of everybody's lives, I believe. And uh, it gives them, because they're not committed, it gives them the kind of emotional attachment at that particular time, saying, okay, somebody is there, koi to hai baat karne wala. You just pick up the phone, drop in a
Exactly.
message and say hi. That's exactly what happens, and that's why people get into these kind of casual relationships.
But I also want
Yes,
to add one point here. So this is what I said
yes,
about the, say, maybe single peoples or who have other options or who have like options open, or they're single, say, for example. Now I also have another side, like after getting into the group, only our WhatsApp group, I realize there are many people who are divorced, or they are in a marriage which is not functional, but they are in that marriage because of their kids. And that is a valid, maybe I don't know much about it, like but I assume it must be difficult for them to get out of the marriage, and they also want emotional support. So maybe for them it could be, I don't know, I'm not that side of life, but that could be one of the reasons for them. Maybe it's not casual for them, but it couldn't be concluded to a meaningful relationship, so maybe they get into it because of this. I don't know, but one thought for.
no, absolutely. So, see, you can share anything. As we said, this is an open discussion. There is nothing called right thing or wrong, or we're just trying to discuss and understand why there is certain thing. Whenever it comes to topic. But thanks for sharing. Yes, Seema, I see you raise your hand.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So yeah, so I think the casual and the casual relationships can work for people who really don't need like they're not looking for a commitment, maybe just looking for a friendship. And there are many sides to it. Like many people want to be friends with benefits, and they don't want a commitment. But so I think that's a downside of this casual dating thing. They want to be friends with benefits, but no commitment involved. So in these kinds of relationships, sometimes one partner always gets little emotional about the other, and I think emotions are involved in any kind of relationship. So I think casual is all right, and sometimes it's like some people have a phobia of commitment also. I think so. So they like to have a casual dating relationships. So they like to be in a relationship when it is like all good. When it starts becoming towards to the commitment, they don't want to like. I think it's kind of like an attachment style. I think we use that avoidant. There is like different kind of attachment style. So I don't know if I'm making any sense to this topic.
Yeah, absolutely making sense. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Uh, doubt about it. And what you said is absolutely right. And but I just heard that you talked about attachment styles. So have you been doing our e-learning journeys by any chance?
I'm religiously doing Kumar, and they are very beneficial. And I'm like stuck. I'm like being patient because I'm not like skipping from one step to the another. There is something like I am on my knowing my words, and then the next step where you have to like how to calm yourself when you are anxious to get connected to your body. So that is where I am presently, and so I was stuck for on this step. Know your words I think exactly for a complete week. But I had a word with the Karma and Anamika, I think the last call. So I was like, I'm loving it because it's helping me so much and it's so convenient. Provided if I be consistent and committed to myself, then I think a Karma and Anamika has given us a platform also, and at the same time e-learnings are there, and it's actually covering up most of the things that we want to heal in ourselves or to know even. So it's beautiful. Thanks to everybody, especially the mentors, because it's really nice for me, a person like me who is little phobic about going to the this therapies and all. Maybe I don't feel that connected, so I like to do things by myself. So e-learning, like I'm doing myself, knowing myself. It's so convenient. It's like you can introspect yourself by the questions there, which are so very looks very simple, but they have such a deeper sense and feelings about the thing that you don't understand sometimes from the question that, oh, it's so just like that. But when I sat down to start doing the questions, it was like digging really deep inside, and I'd never thought that I won't be able to do it. Like I thought I'll do it, but I got stuck. Then I realized, okay, what is happening? What I'm so it's a beautiful help, you can say, that those questions help you to understand you better. So yes, attachment styles is a must in any kind of relationship you want to go, to understand yourself better, as a person, what kind of a style you have, so that you can see what kind of a style person you want to match with. I mean, so I understand this much, right? In the present moment and days, that this much I have understood.
That's very good, Seema. Thanks for sharing about those e-learning journeys. And I think friends who just heard Seema, who enrolled in e-learning journeys, and she was talking about attachment styles. So there are like these attachment styles. You got to understand about your own self, which makes you understand when you actually answer those contemplation questions in that, and you get to know why you are the way you are, or why you are attracting or getting attracted to those kind of people that are there in your life currently, and what do you really have to do about it. I mean, if you're not happy with that relationship or that particular person, what do you really have to do it? So yes, Seema, it's an amazing thing which Akarma and Anamika has created for us. And if others who are listening for the first time, I know Anshul is joined for the first time, and people might have not enrolled, not everybody. Uh, I recommend that is one of the easiest way to really understand your own self when it comes to relationships. So let me tell you, Seema was also talking about therapy and some kind of things where somebody reached out to me on Instagram, I think 2 days ago. This woman lives in United States. She said, Kumar, I really like your content. You talk about relationships, this and that. And she's been going through some challenge. And I said, okay, what is the challenge? And she shared that challenge with me. And I asked her, okay, what have you done about it? And she said, no, she asked me, Kumar, can I get a therapy sessions? I said, we do not do any therapy though, but we are relationship coaches. We don't do any therapist work. And she said, okay, yeah, I tried a therapy here for one session, and it really didn't feel good. I mean, I didn't really gain anything out of it. So I'm not putting down that therapy is bad or coaching is good out here, but you got to understand whom to go to, whom to reach out to for that particular problem. So we at Anamify have made it so simple for everybody, so that they can just enroll themselves in something called e-learning journeys, which is just $230 a month. And when you take it per year, it's comes much cheaper. So see, when you start doing it, you will have so many contemplation questions. You will think why you're behaving such the way you're behaving, attracting people or being in that kind of relationship. Then you'll understand how to heal it. Unless and until you don't know what's wrong, how would you correct it? Isn't it? So now, when it comes to this casual relationships, the topic that we're just talking about, uh, it's basically for those people, as you said, somebody was talking about singles who wants to just hook up and have that little emotional touch, saying, "यार कोई तो है मुझे सुनने के लिए," right? So it allows those people who just wants to fulfill their need for touch or sexual intimacy and any light emotional connection without full-on commitment. So which a classic romantic relationship actually requires, or a committed relationship which actually requires, right? And again, there are various types of casual relationship. Now, my question is open to all. I just want to understand uh, from you all as to what are the characteristics which are actually influencing somebody to uh, to get into these kind of relationships. I mean, one relationship ended, they're ready for the next second or the third casual relationship, and the same thing repeats again and again. What do you think about it?
To me, it looks like some people like to do spiritual shopping. So maybe it's like a relationship shopping, or probably they have a checklist in their mind that, okay, these all menu is there. So if it fulfills, then they'll remain. Otherwise, they'll go to the other one. But I think such if both the parties are okay, then it's fine. But I think these casual relationships have a damaging side to it. I think because um, like I said, emotions get involved. So I think most of the people, the thing that they feel is this, that it's like a shopping. So if not this, I mean, maybe they are not like um, they're not like they're not emotionally available to themselves. So maybe when it comes to getting involved at a deeper level, so I think when it's like fun, and it's like, just having good time, just going out, and like you said, that emotional intimacy, oh sorry, physical intimacy and all, maybe that's like their addictions could be one reason that out of their addictions they are like being with one relationship. When their certain things get satisfied in that relationship, so they jump on to the another. To me, I understand like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, Seema. That's absolutely right. And there is, as I said, there are several reasons why people get into these kind of relationship. And I just want to hear from Anamika or Akarma now on this topic as to why people develop these kind of relationship. And they, as you rightly said, Seema, it's not just one or two persons, but they also get emotionally involved and they hurt themselves in long term. Is what I have seen across my friend circle or people that I work with. Why does that really happen? Aparna or Anamika, if you can just share your thoughts and opinions on this.
Yeah, yeah. So there could be many reasons. It could be it's not very easy to label casual relationships as right or wrong per se, and we're not going to do that. So it totally depends upon where a person is there in his or her life, and why they're doing what they're doing. Now, in most of the cases, people get into casual relationships is because there's something which they are avoiding. They don't want to see, they don't want to face, because they don't feel ready to face that thing. Plus, casual relationship is kind of a win-win for them, because they get to take all the good parts of a relationship and leave all the painful and stressful and responsible and all the heavier parts, right? So they can have the cream of the cake, but and they can leave the actual cake aside. So they can just enjoy one thing, and then they can leave rest of those things. So it comes with those kind of benefits, maybe sexual benefits, maybe emotional benefits, maybe intellectual benefits, but it all stems from a lot of instant gratification in most cases is because see, there's a possibility that
Anamika, you are muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I touched the mute button, I guess. Yes, I
That's what I
was
thought.
saying. Yeah. So I was saying that there's a possibility that let's suppose somebody is married, right? And now it's like they are bored in their relationships, or maybe they're just so unsatisfied with their partner, and they want to. They are exploring it with another person, and we have seen so many cases like that where husbands and wives are actually living together but are living separately, and they both are dating different people. That does not actually fall, and they're actually serious about other people. They're not cheating them, they are not looking for like different partners, they're not just sleeping with anybody around the world. That does not actually fall into the definition of casual relationship itself, right? So there's a possibility that somebody may feel, I don't want to get married, but I just want to be with this and only this person, right? And I just want to continue living in separate houses, having separate things, living our individual lives. but still there's a lot of connection, a lot of trust, a lot of intimacy, a lot of everything, then it's not very much different from marriage, other than the logistical and operational and societal things. Now, in terms of casual relationships, there are few important attributes which it has. First, independence. Second, uh, no responsibility. Third, that both of the partners have the right to move on or move forward whenever they want to, or maybe just sleep with any other person they meet, or just just end the relationship just by sending a text message that it's not working anymore, I'm done, and that's all. Right. So yes, as you guys are saying, that it gets like really, really hurtful sometimes for one person in the relationship, and when one person leaves, because at the end we are humans, and it's so natural that if you're talking to somebody, if you're sleeping with them, if you're connecting with them regularly, and morning and night you look at their messages, and then boom, all of a sudden you just leave in the name of oh, this was a casual relationship, it had no meaning in my life. So that leaves like so many people heartbroken. And then now that there's come a category of so many people, at least I have seen in my circle, of this Tinder and Bumble and I don't know what all apps they have. I mean, I have a friend, and he would just date like another girl every week, and he doesn't even remember their names. But one thing I've constantly heard from him is so many women tell him that I got hurt. You know, so many women start clinging to him or expecting things from him, because at the end we are emotional beings. If we want variety, we also want consistency, right? We want that safety that when I get up in the morning, I will be seeing this person again, and we meet the need of variety. But when we totally overlook the need of certainty, we end up hurting ourselves so much. Right. So, of course, there are these bright sides of casual relationships, which are not so bright in most cases. There could be people who are like really clear. For an example, there's a business person who is working 16 hours a day and doesn't have time. Plus, there's a business woman who's also working 16 hours a day. They realize that they have a sexual need of, just sexually getting involved with somebody, and they don't have time for emotional and intellectual things or anything in fact to do with each other. And they come to a point ki, we'll just meet every week, we'll fulfill the sexual need of ours, and then we will see what happens next. Right. And they have a lot of clarity. It seems natural and fine. But even in those cases, it's a very high chance that one person would end up getting hurt. Right. And there's a difference between, when it comes to the casual relationship umbrella, when it comes to hooking umbrella, and when it comes to friends with benefits umbrella, and different these, the branches of kinds of myriads of relationships categories we have created these days. So little bit difference maybe. In casual relationship, there's an emotional and intellectual connection. In friends with benefits, maybe in hooking it's not there, so it's just sexual. So yeah, that's what I've seen. Thanks, Kumar.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. And yes, as Anamika was mentioning, yes, Shruti, go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, when Anamika was speaking, I was just thinking like when the topic has been circulated in the group for this casual relationships and the dark and bright side of it. So the only reason I joined, or I was most curious to know, is what could be the brighter side of casual relationships because I wasn't able to see any. So I was curious, like, because the topic was like this, right? Bright and darker side. And when Anamika said that uh, it could be seen as a brighter side, but still it isn't a bright side. Like whatever merits she has told about casual relationships, say for the business persons. So yeah, even I wanted to get to know or know the thoughts of everyone here that what could be the brighter side of it. And my another question is, how can a relationship be labeled as casual relationship? Like how can we say it is a casual when someone, because considering the uncertainty of every relationship, right? Every relationship is uncertain. Even we get into it, considering okay, it could end up in marriage or a serious relationship, but initially every relationship is uncertain. So how can we label it as casual? Like when people get into it by stating it that okay, I'm just getting into it for a casual thing, then it will be called as casual. So yeah, these were my 2 points or
Yeah,
questions.
that, that's a good question, Suchi. So first, uh, thanks for letting us know that why you joined the call by looking at the brighter side. So you want to understand what is that brighter side. Brighter side is nothing but, Suchi, it's that instant gratification that people got used to so much. They they get some kind of that personal satisfaction where when they see the message in the early morning, the WhatsApp message or the ping or the ting, that we have all that in our apps today, which gives definitely that uh, you know that good chemical in your mind, right, or in your heart, saying, okay, somebody is thinking of me. So that's the brighter side, as to okay, koi to hai mere liye. That's the emotional and instant gratification, which is a brighter side, and not so bright as well, because as Anamika rightly said, somebody's heart has to break for sure, right?
Yeah, and it's
It's
नहीं
short
नहीं
term only.
एक एक सबसे बड़ा ब्राइट साइड ऑफ कैजुअल रिलेशनशिप इज कि अपने ऊपर काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा ना. You don't have to do the hard work.
yes,
You don't have to do the hard work of becoming aware of your attachment styles, knowing yourself, becoming self-aware, becoming mindful. क्या है कुछ भी continue doing कुछ भी एक
But it's
कोई
not a
one
brighter side,
person.
it's a darker side.
Exactly. Exactly. A brighter
Yeah.
side which is not so bright.
Yeah.
Because it's so temporary, it's so temporary कि वो हमें all the people who get into casual relationship उनको लगता है bright है, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
in fact,
true.
everything.
most even if people who are not in casual relationships, whosoever who's just distracting them, casual relationship is one type of distraction, no? कि, so that you don't have to be with yourself, see yourself, face another human being. So get into a casual relationship. So even if somebody is being in whatever relationship या किसी भी area of life में, when we are just simply distracting ourselves, so it's an easy way out. And casual relationships are, one form of those distractions.
So
Right.
I'll share two examples that come to my mind in this, and I've known both of these women. When I was in Pune, they were part of our friend circle, and one of them, she was technically, like when we are talking about it, it wasn't even friends with benefits. It was technically, like that is how they used to describe. Technically, they were basically just fuck buddies. That is exactly the terms that they would use. And so they wouldn't even consider themselves as friends also, because there was nothing that they actually wanted from each other apart from sex. And that is how they described it. So every week or in 2 weeks, those two will meet and will just have go for dinner or have some drinks and all that and just have sex, and that was the setup. Apart from that, no other type of communication, even on phone calls or chatting, was very minimum, because it wasn't friendship also in that case. Why was this good for them? What is the bright side of it? That woman, that the girl was pretty much screwed up. She had so much traumas that she has been through and all that, that this was her way, that she has someone that she can fulfill her physical needs and all that, and not only just work on yourself, forget about working on yourself. They wouldn't even have any kind of deeper conversations also. Deeper, sort of superficial conversations we need. So nothing is required. It was so convenient that nothing is required. So पढ़ना ही नहीं है उस किसी पचड़े में, करनी ही नहीं है, बातें ही नहीं करनी है, जाना ही नहीं है, relationships वगैरह के बारे में सोचना ही नहीं है. So all those things around any kind of commitment or getting to know the other person or the other person trying to, so no need of being vulnerable, no need for the other person to be vulnerable with you, no need to share anything what is going on and all that. That was the bright side of things. So maybe we don't see that as a bright side or something, maybe anybody on this call may not see that, but that is how they would see it. That was their bright side of it. ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है, सब बिना ये सब किए easily सब available है. So I think it was anyway, अगर देखो ना technically देखो तो it was actually no different than someone going and paying for sex. They were just not paying for sex to each other. That was just that. They were just having sex and there was no payment involved. But other than that, कोई connection नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, and this was many people, like especially men, women still don't do this, but men, many men go and pay for sex for this reason only, कि कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ कोई कनेक्शन करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ इमोशंस दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ नखरे उठाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ ये नहीं करना, वो नहीं करना, कुछ भी नहीं करना. So it's just straight to the point and just get it done and all that. So that was the bright side that they would see in it. That is how they would say. That is how they would basically sell this idea. Whenever we would have some chat with them about it, that's the way they would like show us कि ये कितना अच्छा है. And then I remember that the guy moved. He had to move to Delhi. He was from Delhi, living in Pune. Then he had to move. और because उनके बीच में कुछ connection या कुछ ऐसा तो है नहीं, it was nothing, no कुछ ऐसा क्या बोलते, कुछ setup नहीं था ना, तो the guy assumed कि ठीक है, it's just pack up and go. But वो that girl, she literally crashed after that. She literally crashed. मतलब वो पागल सी हो गई थी कुछ दिन के लिए तो. And we were all very shocked as well with this behavior. कि एक तरफ तो ये they were all saying कि कुछ भी नहीं है, and no emotions involved, nothing involved and all that. And even she used to tell. वो ऐसा नहीं कि वो हमको बोल रही है, वो अपने आप को भी यही. So she was convinced कि इसमें कुछ नहीं है. And then when this happened, then when this news, that guy gave her this news, she was like mad and swearing and throwing tantrums and all those things happening. जो उसको भी समझ नहीं आ रहा, हमको भी समझ नहीं आ रहा कि why this much display of all this, कि जब एक तरफ you are all saying कि इसमें कुछ है ही नहीं, तो फिर क्यों इतना क्यों नाटक हो रहा है. So that was something that we got to see कि ये बोलने के बाद भी, ये करने के बाद भी लोग ऐसे अपने आप को बोलते, अपने आप को कन्विंस करते कि कुछ नहीं है, we are just this and we are just that. और उसके बाद भी people can get emotionally attached to each other so much, and this thing can hurt. So that was one example. The other example, I know another girl. She came from Mauritius. So यहाँ पे, so she was a French girl living in Mauritius, like a Mauritius citizen, came to Pune to do some for education. कुछ 6-8 months का कुछ करने के लिए आई थी. And then she got involved with one person. Or again, they were saying to each other कि ये casual है and all that. So the guy was okay with that and she was okay with that as well. बट आई थिंक आई डोंट नो क्या सेटअप था, कैसे था, क्या कम्युनिकेशन, उतना तो हमें नहीं पता है ना कि ये दो लोग आपस में कितने क्या लेवल की बात करते हैं. बट द वे दे विल से कि दिस इज जस्ट कैजुअल एंड वी जस्ट ऐसा कुछ सीरियस नहीं है. देयर इज नथिंग, नो इमोशंस इन्वॉल्व, कोई प्लानिंग नहीं है, हमें कुछ इसको कहीं लेके नहीं जाना है. इज नो फ्यूचर ऑफ दिस रिलेशनशिप, जस्ट अभी है तो है, इट्स लाइक दैट. एंड देन दैट girl got involved with another guy also. और उसके हिसाब से तो she was free, she was not involved with she was not committed to this guy. But then they had a lot of drama about it as well. So then we got to also understand from one angle कि relationship में या इस setup में एक की casual की definition और दूसरे की casual की definition भी different हो सकती है. And one thinking doing this and the other could get hurt by that person. So although they are saying okay, we are casuals, we are not committed to each other, and then she is going and having sex with a third person, this guy was very mad at that whole setup, and they pretty much like whatever you call it, they break up because of that. I don't know what they break up with. बट एक तरफ वो बोल रहे हैं कि कुछ नहीं है और दूसरी तरफ ये हो रहा है तो वो हर्ट भी कर रहा है उनको. So we've seen that kind of setup as well. Yes,
I have
Sonali.
personally gone through this. Once upon a time, I was in a relationship with this guy, and it was a long-term relationship. It had been like 4.5 years. But that guy would never hold my hand in front of anybody, and he would always be like, "मेरा बाकी का stock खराब हो जाएगा. I need other women in my life as well." I was kind of very serious for him, and not very serious as in committed कि शादी करनी है and all that, but I was just there. And when I moved on, and when I told him that I don't want to be with you anymore, and he was like crazy mad. I mean, mad than anything. It went on for like months and months. He would just be like mad and as if I have done such a wrong thing. So yeah, this story is like kind of very popular. It happens very often. Yeah, Shuchi and Seema, you had to say something. Shuchi, you raised your hand first. You want to go first?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So Akarma was telling two different incidents, right? Two stories. So in the first story, like the girl got hurt, and the second one, guy got hurt. I have a question. I'm not generalizing it, but still I wanna ask that is it like it's not generalization, but is it like mostly in this setup, girls get hurt most because women are made like this. They are more emotional being and crave for emotional touch. Because it's not like I have seen guys as well who are emotional, who have that need for emotional touch, and they also carry that value system. I personally have seen such guys as well, but still, is it more like ratio is like girls usually get hurt more in this setup?
That's a good question, Suchi. Before Anamika or Sachin answers or Akarma answers that, let me share what I went through quite a few years ago. I was in this relationship with this girl for like 7 years, and I deeply loved her. We worked in the same organization, in fact, same team. So when we're talking about casual relationship as a topic here, we were talking about Akarma was mentioning about they meeting once in a week or twice in a month and all that. Imagine somebody you're seeing and living and talking and having lunch and working together for 6 7 years every every single day. लोग शायद वीकेंड पे मिलते होंगे when they call it casual relationship or some kind of relationship, whatever you call it, but we were meeting every single day. And to give you the answer as to are only women get affected in this kind of relationship? No, men also do, and I am the example in front of. After 6 years, when there was this time that my parents started asking, of course, we used to come to each other's place and we know each other's parents, and they're okay. I mean, when I say that I'm going with this girl, they're absolutely okay with it, whether it is a movie or a date night or wherever it is. And one fine day, when I asked about getting married or getting really serious about our relationship. You know what she said? She said, Kumar, I think my mother wouldn't like it because we are from a different caste altogether. You're this and this. Uh, and my mother already started doubting us, our relationship, and she says that, hey, if अगर तू कुमार के साथ भाग गए ना देखना है ना मैं खुदकुशी करूंगी. All those drama started at her home, and she just left. And I was heartbroken for a year. So it happens with both, not just women. Men also go through this. Even they are emotional beings. I just wanted to
I
share
Yeah,
my
would
yeah.
story.
like
Yes.
to add on to your story, Kumar. Shruti,
Yeah.
your question is good. That's what it appears like in the society, because women
Obviously.
are more emotional and all. But I'll share my experience. The ratio has actually been opposite. Throughout my life, I
Mm.
have seen 8 out of 10 men getting hurt in this kind of a setup than actually women. And not in this kind of a setup, but any kind of a setup. I've actually seen the opposite case, that
I agree.
women just move on, women just leave the relationship, women just end it just because their parents said so. They don't want to face the society.
True.
They don't want to go through the harsh reality. They don't want to fight for it. And due to whatever trauma and wounds and reasons we have within ourselves, regardless, even if we have a higher emotional side, still we just leave the relationship. Like, in my, I don't know, I have not read any statistic on this, but I've seen the ratio like massively high on men getting more hurt.
I agree with this. I have also seen that more men get hurt, and the reason which I have found that why that is the case, based on the cases that I know, the reason I have found is that more women, they become more mentally prepared. They know it is coming to an end, so they already know this, that this is coming to an end, and they prepare themselves much ahead of time before breaking the news to the guy, and the guy is clueless. And when the news is broken to the guy, the woman in her mind has already moved on. So she would feel कि अभी बता दिया ना तो अभी हो गया. So it's and the guy is caught off guard completely. The guy has no clue that this was coming, and it was all going so good and everything. So I feel that women prepare themselves much beforehand, when this happens. And even in any of these cases, wherever a breakup is happening, whether it's initiated by a man or a woman, whether it's a divorce or it's a breakup, whoever is initiating it has already given a lot of thought to that. The other person is clueless. The other person thinks everything is fine, or even if they think that it's not fine, they somehow feel कि चल रहा है ना, it's okay. Like if the woman is initiating it, the guy maybe knows that it's not perfect, but he feels she's with me, so it must be fine. So and then the woman had all the time to think about it and what it is and how to break the news and all that, and then the other person gets hurt. Same thing if the guy is initiating the breakup or a divorce or anything, they have had thought about it, and in their mind they are ready for the drama. They are ready
So,
for the whatever is going to come.
listening to all this, like everything seems to be valid to me. And I really am having a very burning question right now, and I think I should discuss right away. So, can we say, like, the deepest and darkest reason for these things, like for initiating a split, maybe even after years of relationship? Because I have never been in a very long term relationship due to my fears, most of it due to my fears only, my commitment phobia only. I wasn't able to be in a long term relationship. But what I assume, or maybe by observing myself or others, because Anamika and Akarma already know how analytical I am. So I think, please correct me if I'm right or wrong, because I want to correct this thought of mine. that the reason for splitting after such long relationships could like, so the deep and darkest reason, like whatever they say to the other partner, whoever initiates, whether a guy or a girl, and whatever they are saying, but inside of it there is somewhere like they lost the spark of or attention for that person. The real reason is that, because that's why they don't want to fight for it or go ahead or whatever it is.
Um, I wouldn't generalize that in all the splits they have lost the spark, but yes, there are many other logistical. जैसे Kumar was saying कि the girl said कि मेरे parents नहीं मानेंगे, उसको पता है कि नहीं मानेंगे. So maybe she hasn't lost the spark, but it it's not big enough for her to fight.
Yeah, because I have seen these cases many times, and I just
So
feel because
parents
they
are
don't
more
want to.
important for whatever reason. She doesn't want to hurt them. She feels more obliged कि उन्होंने मेरा इतना ध्यान रखा. They've done so much for me, and I can't do this and all that. Um, I know another person who's so there's one more example I have. There's another person um, who got married against the will of the family. Family didn't want her to get married to that guy. She got married. She fought and she got married. Turned out to be a wrong decision, and they had a divorce almost after 6 or 8 months. And and the family then obviously will say, "We told you so." So that wasn't the right guy. So now this girl feels so obliged that the next person she gets involved with must be approved by my family, because she's already burnt that. She's already feels that she's let them down once. So she can't let them down again. So it's not that she's lost the spark or anything, but yes, the family's approval is much higher as compared to anything else. And for that, she would leave the guy also if the family doesn't approve. Even if she's in love, even if she's the spark is there, and even if all those things are there, if the family doesn't approve, she won't go ahead. क्योंकि वो एक बार कर चुकी है, and she doesn't want the family to go through that again and again and to keep hearing that again.
But this I understand, like, because she has done it once. But what about people who have not done it before and still they are? I don't know. Maybe I am
नहीं
like
मैं
that.
वही तो
इसलिए
बोल
मुझे
रहा हूँ ना
ऐसा.
कि आई एम सेइंग कि तुमने जो बोला मैं उसी का तो बता रहा हूँ ना. तो अर्लियर यू सेड कि इज इट बिकॉज द स्पार्क इज लेफ्ट. सो आई एम गिविंग यू ऑल
Because
दीज वैरायटीज ना कि इट्स नॉट
okay,
ऑलवेज अबाउट द स्पार्क. देयर आर अदर केसेस आल्सो.
okay.
हाँ, तो तुम जो assumption ये लेके चल रही थी कि is it always about the spark, and I'm saying no, it's not always about the spark. So I just gave you that example.
Okay. Although I'm not satisfied, but could be. Maybe I am not at that side, and
तो
I'm
क्वेश्चन
def.
पूछो ना. ठीक,
No,
क्या
no, your
क्वेश्चन
point
पूछना
is
चाह रहे
valid. I'm not. My question was answered, whatever you said, but maybe I'm not satisfied because I don't think that way. Matlab, for me, it is like, how is it possible if everything? Because maybe there aren't restrictions in my family, so I couldn't see that side. I couldn't understand that it is possible that you can, for family, if you truly love someone and you cannot fight your family or try to get things fixed, even how long it will take, and you leave the person.
Yeah, maybe Suchi, not everybody is so courageous to really,
Mm.
face their parents and say that नहीं मैं यही लड़की से शादी करूंगी.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, 6-7 years of relationship, and I was actually living that. ठीक है आज नहीं तो कल शादी होने वाला ही है. I was like that. Imagine 6 years, Suchi, every day in day out. And one fine day she just comes and says that okay, it doesn't happen. Imagine 6 years of relationship lasted just 6 days, and we were just apart, and I was so broken. Just to answer your men or women, it's not about men are suffering more or women are suffering less and all, but the things both the sides.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah. Sima,
sense.
Sima, yeah.
hand is up.
Yeah, so I think to after hearing all the conversation and the things that we are discussing, I think it could be that one thing that comes to me is that maybe one person is more emotionally mature and one is not. I mean, two different beings, maybe they are like sometimes people are not that mature enough to go for a commitment. I mean, and suddenly I think in between the relationship they realize that this is not what they are looking for. Now, it could be that she's not strong enough to stand from for her. Maybe her priority is her family. I mean, validation in her life is coming from the family. So for a relationship also to go successful, that validation she needs from the family. Kumar was not enough to give her that security. Even she could see it, but then maybe she was not emotionally that mature to understand that yes, this
Yeah,
is that this guy has been standing, and yeah, it's worth taking a risk. So I think sometimes
right.
one partner is emotionally more mature than the other, and other doesn't. Maybe even people doesn't know what they need the relationship for. Sometimes people just uh, they go for like what I want, but what I need, I think again I'll go back like for my experience, coming from a narcissist marriage and all, and after having a bad relationship after that, I realized that what is happening is not, it is like not coming from, it was coming from what I want, because my situation is like that. I am lonely, so I want to be not be lonely. And it's okay if somebody is taking care of me, but at the cost of wrong things. So there were several red flags, but I was just okay with taking being care. So I couldn't define what I need in
Right.
terms of, so that I came to know after doing my attachment styles, that oh, this is what is happening to me. So after doing that I realized, but before that I think I was also not emotionally mature to understand what I'm looking for in my relationships. So many times I think it feels like that. Sometimes women are more mature, and the bond and the god has created women like that, that if you get physical with somebody, you get bonded with them. Men are little practical. Women get naturally, like they get attached to a person through feelings and emotions. So men take time. I think I'm sorry, I'm not like journalizing it, but that's how I feel. I have experienced in my life. So
But it makes total sense whatever you explained. That's totally like meaningful.
yeah, because I think in my marriage, what I used to question myself, what is that lack? So the lack was emotional immaturity. I was the moment I got into a relationship, whether it was a situationship or whatever ways the marriage happened, I could immediately make myself understand that yeah, now I can't do anything about it. I'll just go for making it work out. But the other person on the other side, like Akarma also has shared an example that the guy was not like ready, because in the first year my husband kept telling me this, that he was pressurized to get married. So the excuses kept changing. Then I realized that he's not ready for a relationship, like a serious commitment relationship. He's also a person who would have small flings, hookups, where he doesn't want to have a commitment on his head. And that's something like I guess comes from a lot of issues that we have inside. And like Anamika said, काम तो अपने पे करना पड़ेगा, and that calm is बहुत majorly, and people avoid it because it's easy to betray people, go to the second one, then the third one. Who's going to come and say, कोई 4 दिन रोलेगा, कोई गाली बक देगा, but that's okay. So they are okay with that. And I used to wonder how such people like hurt others feeling, women feeling. Like Anamika is also saying that the guy friend used to be like dating one another, one woman after the other. So I think they're so emotionally unavailable to themselves. So बात वही आ जाती है, मुझे ऐसा
Yeah,
लगता है.
because I am feeling the need to mention this, like why I asked this question and why it was coming from me, like this, because I have, as I said, I've never been in a long-term relationship, but I only had like one meaningful relationship that was only for 1 or 1.5 years, and it was an interfaith relationship. And now when look back, it was the most meaningful, respectful, and like the only genuine love I had for someone kind of relationship. But I moved out of it. Like I had all the courage to fight, or my family is open as well. there could be friction, but I don't think it could have worked if I wanted to. But somewhere deep inside, I lost the spark. When I introspect truly within, then I feel so. So that's why I asked that question. And now when I see, after all the work I have done after many years, I see that it was my commitment phobia, maybe.
Yeah, so that's I think a Karma and Anamika can tell you. So, like I was telling you, there is an attachment style known as avoidant. So, I have a question for Karma, Anamika, and Mrs. Kumar on this. That supposingly, abhi I'm like in a halfway of my journey. Supposingly, I've done my attachment style. I come to know that I'm an anxious person. So, I have an attachment like of style of anxious. And I meet a person, he is nice, everything is fine. But I do find it out that he's an avoidant. So do you that can be worked out, or like what is the guidance that you guys think can work for an anxious and an avoidant person? Two different styles, and they can be good partners or not.
Anamika can answer that one, but I wanted to say to Suchi and what Seema is saying. So just wanted to connect the dots here for you, Suchi, what you're saying, that many a times happens that when we face these situations and we very quickly jump to the conclusion that the spark is gone. So I was trying to bring your focus to the point that yes, it is possible that the spark is gone. That's not an impossible thing. But concluding that every breakup is because of the spark is gone would be wrong, because what will happen is
Hmm.
that we would then, let's say, what Seema is saying, attachment style. If we have attachment style issues or commitment phobia or anything, that instead of looking at that, we are very wrongly concluding that spark is gone,
Hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing
right?
only from my lens, like
Yes,
from one
yes.
yeah.
So क्योंकि वो easy पड़ रहा है ना, कुछ काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना, ये बोल दो बस spark चला गया.
Hmm.
So was it about the spark, or was it about the attachment style, or was it about the commitment phobia, or was it because you can't stand up to your family, or what it is about? So instead of actually looking at the root cause, हमने
Hmm.
बस ये कंक्लूड कर लिया कि यार इतने झगड़े हो रहे हैं, इतना कुछ हो रहा है, बार बार कुछ अब बन नहीं रहा, स्पार्क चला गया. तो वो
Yeah.
झगड़े तो इस वजह से भी हो रहे हो सकते हैं ना, क्योंकि आपकी इतनी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो रही है, एक दूसरे को कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर पा रहे हो. प्रॉब्लम अटैचमेंट स्टाइल की है, उसकी वजह से भागने का मन कर रहा है, कमिट करने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. दी अदर पर्सन इज फीलिंग कि कोई इधर पुश एंड पुल चल रहा है, उसकी वजह से पुश एंड पुल की वजह से जो झगड़े हो रहे हैं, जो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हो रहे हैं, उससे अगर हम ये कंक्लूड करके बैठे हैं कि स्पार्क चला गया, तो गलत होगा ना.
Right. And if I must say, like, there was no fight involved in my case, no fights, nothing. But yeah, now I see it must be more of my complications inside, my own complications and dilemmas. Maybe fear
हाँ,
of like being in an interfaith setup or whatever.
हो
But
सकता है,
yeah,
हो सकता है,
whatever you're
हो
saying
सकता
makes
है ना.
total sense. Yeah.
हाँ, तो अगर एक बार हमने वो चीजें अपनी हील कर ली, वो सारे प्रॉब्लम्स को हील कर लिया, उसके बाद भी ब्रेकअप तो हो ही सकता है ना. तो
Hmm.
देन इट कुड बी अबाउट द स्पार्क कि नहीं है अभी स्पार्क. तो बट द थिंग इज कि
But
इफ
it's a revelation for me because seriously, like till today, like after having so many discussions with you, अभी तक मैं ऐसे ही समझती थी कि नहीं, अंडर हिडन रीजन तो स्पार्क ही होता होगा, क्योंकि मेरा केस ऐसा था. तो मैं ऐसा सोचती थी अभी तक कि ऐसा ही होता होगा, मतलब जो कोई बोलना
हाँ,
नहीं चाहता है,
नहीं,
मानना
ये
नहीं चाहता
उल्टा
है.
है, ये उल्टा है. हिडन
Hmm.
रीजन स्पार्क नहीं है, स्पार्क इज द सुपरफिशियल रीजन,
Yes.
Hmm.
इज द ऑपोजिट.
Hmm. I was living a lie.
हाँ, it's the opposite. Spark is the very superficial thing. See, अगर एक चीज मान के चलो, if you have really loved someone, how can you unlove them? You tell me that. You teach me how to unlove someone. आपको उनके बिहेवियर से, उनके एटीट्यूड से, उनके किसी चीज से परेशानी हो सकती है, उनके कोई बात करने, लेकिन you once saw something that you loved about the person. How can you now unlove the person?
But it is possible ना कि you love that human being, मतलब
So
the
we are
person
saying,
he is, but
so was that love or infatuation?
it was love. But जो एक romantic way में attraction वाला part है, that could fade, right?
ठीक है, that could fade. I am not talking about the romantic part of it. I'm saying love.
Love, yeah, of course, it cannot. Definitely, it cannot.
So I am asking ki how can you unlove?
We cannot unlove somebody. Once
Mm.
you're done, if you are coming out of love, if it is not
If you
infatuation, or
क्योंकि अगर if you can unlove तो मैं पहले से ही फिर ये क्वेश्चन करूंगा कि फिर आपने कभी लव किया ही नहीं।
Yeah, it was never. Yeah,
it
that's
was,
true.
yeah, agreed. Then it even won't affect at that deeper level. Believe me when I say it. I mean, it won't affect you that badly emotionally. You'll be like maybe missing the person for 2 3 days and then you'll move on. But if you have fallen in love, you cannot undo those feelings. It will take time to just heal those feelings and come to a point of acceptance that yes, it's over. Sometimes it happens in the one-sided. I think most of the times, one person develops a relationship and you realize that the other is not emotionally mature for a relationship only. In that particular case, like you said, Akarma, that the girl you was saying it that okay, it's a casual relationship, it doesn't affect me, I'm just hooking up and all. But definitely, she must have not realized in the span of dating that guy that she was fallen for him. And it could be any reasons. Could be the the kind of intimacy that you get from a person. You know the person, and I think that it's not possible to like
because
not love
she
somebody.
because she didn't even allow herself to accept that, क्योंकि वो तो अपने आप को और हम सबको यही बोलते थे ना कि कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है।
Yeah, yeah.
तो वो वो अगर हो रहा है तो उन्होंने कभी उस चीज को एक्नॉलेज नहीं किया, कभी रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किया, कभी उस चीज को के पे ध्यान नहीं दिया, दे वर नॉट अवेयर। और फिर एकदम से जब वो हुआ तो इट जस्ट क्रैश्ड लाइक एनीथिंग ऑन देम, क्योंकि वो था तो सही ना।
Well, yeah, true. You cannot be like maybe she couldn't accept it, and maybe she would be like मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि avoidant about it from the whatever the reasons.
So this example I am sharing is only from the point of view कि हम कॉन्शियस लेवल पे अनअवेयर हो सकते हैं, हम अपने एक माइंड लेवल पे, एनालिटिकल लेवल पे हम अनअवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं कि बोल सकते हैं अपने आप को और दूसरों को कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है। हम वो इल्यूजन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, बट सबकॉन्शियस लेवल पे जो हो रहा है उसको हम नकार नहीं सकते हैं। तो इसी के लिए वी से कि माइंडफुलनेस एंड सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ताकि आप अंदर जाके देख सको कि हो क्या रहा है। सरफेस लेवल पे तो आप इल्यूजन क्रिएट कर सकते हो, अपने लिए कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, अपने को कुछ भी समझा सकते हो, दूसरों को कुछ भी समझा सकते हो, पर अंदर ही अंदर क्या चल रहा है, मन में अंदर क्या चल रहा है, डीप सबकॉन्शियस में क्या चीजें हैं जहाँ पे एक कनेक्शन बिल्ड हो रहा है और आप उसको देखना ही नहीं चाह रहे हो, आप उसको एक्नॉलेज ही नहीं करना चाह रहे हो। पॉइंट ये है कि वो है, आप देख नहीं रहे हो, इसका मतलब नहीं कि वो नहीं है, क्योंकि वो आया ना आपके सामने, इट क्रैश्ड यू ना।
Yeah, it does.
सो दैट इटसेल्फ इज एन एग्जांपल कि हम कितने भी झूठ बोल लें, कितनी भी परतें उनके ऊपर चढ़ा लें, लेकिन जब वो आता है तो फिर आता है सामने।
Yeah, I think now being on this platform, I'm realizing that running away from the feelings and emotions is never going to work out. Maybe for a short time, but then you are again going to like fulfill your hurts and downfalls about breakups and whatever, like it didn't work out. Whatever feelings we get from any kind of relationship, sometimes it happens with the deeper friendships also. Like they just end up like randomly just end up for no reasons. So I think emotionally, we need to be stable, and for that, again, we need to work on ourselves because it's so essential. I've realized the importance of it, and I'm like being. I'll be honest on this platform. I'm like so miserable. I'm like totally in my solitude mode nowadays. But I'm loving it because I have never given a chance to my feelings and emotions. I just was just fulfilling roles that I was assigned from different people, and damage ho raha hai emotion ka, grieving nahi ho rahi, one thing after the other. What really works for me now is this, that I have set a healthy boundary for my own self, is that I will not go jump to another relationship because I need it or I want it, but I will take time to understand that do I really need it, or I'll be able to survive this particular mode of my life where I'm actually uh, going through so many things. So I particularly feel that I'm not fit for dating. I don't have that much of time and all that where I can, invest my time because अकर्मा मुझे ये मुझे नहीं पता कि default है कि क्या है. I even want to understand from all of you that I have this feeling कि I don't have that time to invest. Like you invest in the relationships and they go wrong. So I'm going through that thing in me that I want to invest in myself. So what I'm trying to say कि एक चीज जो मैंने अपनी जर्नी से ये सीखी है कि never jump from one relationship to the another just because you're feeling that you're lonely and somebody is fulfilling it. It will do more damage to you because पहले का garbage और फिर ये इसका भी वो combine होके it will be like madly. So I think give yourself enough time when you're out of some relationship to understand. Maybe give yourself time for healings than just jump from one to the other. Then it will be not so good to be in an emotional state of maturity and stable.
Absolutely. See, हम ये क्वेश्चन ना बहुत उठता है. ये वाला क्वेश्चन कई बार मैंने सुना है हमारी कॉल्स पे. कई डिफरेंट तरीके से घूम के आता है कि people have had very hard relationships and all that, so now they are kind of scared कि मैं फिर से मेरे पे एनर्जी नहीं है ये सब करने की. तो मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन मैं पूछता हूँ कि मैथ्स की एक इक्वेशन होती है इक्वल टू के एक तरफ कुछ वेरिएबल्स हैं, दूसरी तरफ कुछ वेरिएबल्स हैं, ठीक है.
Right.
तो जब आप लेफ्ट हैंड साइड की इक्वेशन को चेंज करते हो तो उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए राइट हैंड साइड को चेंज करना ही होता है, राइट. अदरवाइज इक्वल टू डजंट मेक एनी सेंस.
राइट.
ठीक है. तो ये मैथ्स का फंडामेंटल रूल है कि अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड चेंज है तो राइट हैंड साइड भी चेंज हो. तो अगर आपने आज एक अनहील्ड स्टेट में एक रिलेशनशिप को खोया है या यू हैव गॉन थ्रू हार्डशिप्स एंड ऑल दैट एंड नाउ यू आर डिसाइडिंग कि मैं अपने आप की हीलिंग करती हूँ और अपने ऊपर काम करती हूँ, अगर आप लेफ्ट हैंड साइड चेंज कर रहे हो तो हाउ कैन यू सिंपली एक्सपेक्ट कि राइट हैंड साइड वही रहने वाला है? हाउ कैन यू एक्सपेक्ट कि मेरे को घूम के वही रिजल्ट मिलने वाला है? It's an impossible probability.
Yeah, maybe that is also
it's impossible to happen क्योंकि आज आप अनहिल्ड स्टेट में जो टाइप के इंसान हो और जिस तरह के लोगों से आप अट्रैक्ट होते हो, जब आपने अपने ऊपर काम करना शुरू कर दिया, आज आपने अपना अटैचमेंट स्टाइल पे काम करना शुरू किया, अभी तक आपको मालूम नहीं था कि हाउ यू वर अट्रैक्टिंग और गेटिंग अट्रैक्टेड टू दोज पीपल. अब आपको वो दिख रहा है. दिखने के बाद, समझने के बाद, would you now consciously make the same decisions that you made earlier?
Not at all.
If you're not going to make the same decisions and same choices, then how will you get the same results? So what are we worried about? अगर हमारे choices और decisions change होंगे तो हमारे results भी तो change होंगे.
Yeah, you're right, but then still, I feel I don't know, I feel a little saturated in the sense that I feel like, what's the fun? Every time you give a chance, yeah, maybe you're right because maybe it was like coming from अभी भी
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि I am not saying कि जाओ और जाके और relationships में घुस जाओ या ये कर लो. I am not saying that नहीं करना तो मत करो. That is not what I am saying. I am just saying कि at least thought process पे तो अपने आप को clear रखो. थॉट लेवल पे हाउ आर यू कंक्लूडिंग दिस कि लाइक हम सब पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं यहाँ पे, हम सब समझते हैं ये सारी चीजें. तो आई एम सेइंग कि थॉट लेवल पे तो एटलीस्ट अपनी क्लैरिटी रखो कि हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल कि आप अपने लाइफ में डिफरेंट चॉइसेस बनाओगे, डिफरेंट डिसीजंस लोगे एंड यू आर वरीड कि कहीं दोबारा से ये ना हो जाए. ये मैथमेटिकल इम्प्रोबेबिलिटी को वरी बना के क्यों रखा हुआ है अपने सर पे? नहीं करना तो मत करो. No one is saying
and you're right. I think my answers will change, Akarma, because I'm like halfway, not even halfway, I don't know. I think I'm not even like completely come long way of my journey because but it's helping me to understand and it's a big thing for me because yes, it's changing the way I think, and it's actually letting me put myself first, which is like self-worth, which has gone down the line in so many years. But so maybe with the time when I'll be healed, I'll be more open-hearted. Right now, because I've gone through a little hurt, so I think probably I'm just being a little easy with myself, or you can say I've taken a break, kind of a thing, from all of this and concentrating on myself.
Right. And
Of course,
after
concentrate on yourself. That is not an issue. But I'm saying कि it is also very important that what you keep telling yourself. So एक तरफ तो आप healing कर रहे हो,
Mm,
एक तरफ तो you want to get better, और
mm,
दूसरी तरफ अपने माइंड में ये वरी फीड करते रहते हो कि ये फिर से हो गया, ये मैं फिर से नहीं इसमें पढ़ना चाहती हूँ, मैं फिर से ये नहीं करना चाहती हूँ. तो हम सेइंग कि एक तरफ तो दवाई खा रहे हो और दूसरी तरफ अपने आप को बीमार भी किए जा रहे हो.
yeah, maybe that is also like a conscious thing that I have to tell myself and
So
my.
tell yourself something different ना. That's what I'm saying कि फिर what is the point of doing all this अगर आपको अपने आप को वही बताना है और वही चीज से अपनी एनर्जी को ड्रैग करना है. Tell yourself it doesn't even make it doesn't make any sense from any angle. Common sense के एंगल से it doesn't make any sense. मैथमेटिक्स के एंगल से, साइंस के एंगल से, किसी एंगल से it doesn't make any sense कि आप कुछ डिफरेंट करो और आपको रिजल्ट वही आए.
Okay. Mhm.
हाँ, ये पॉसिबल है कि आप, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप कुछ डिफरेंट करोगे तो आपकी आगे की रिलेशनशिप कुछ खराब नहीं होगी. हो सकता है आपको फिर से कोई खराब, बट एग्जैक्टली यही रिजल्ट तो नहीं आने वाला ना.
Yeah, I think this is something that I should have changed in the sense. Thank you for pinpointing it. Because, yeah, consciously when I am healing myself, then I should be confident enough that now things are going to be different. But if I'm like
Things are
conscious,
going to be different. Whether they are going to be good or bad, we don't know.
yeah,
But they are definitely going to be different.
yeah,
You cannot get the same results. It is impossible. अगर आपकी thought process और आपकी choices और आपकी preferences, आपकी likings change हो गई हैं और आपने पास्ट में जो decisions बनाए हैं जिसकी वजह से जिस टाइप के भी लोग आपकी लाइफ में आए हैं, अब अगर आप डिफरेंट चूज करोगे और डिफरेंट लोग आएंगे तो रिजल्ट भी डिफरेंट होगा. अब वो डिफरेंट जो है वो गुड है या बैड है वो तो टाइम विल टेल,
yeah, of course.
बट इट इज डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू बी डिफरेंट. सो यू कैन नॉट बी वरीड कि वही वापस से हो जाएगा, क्योंकि वो तो वापस से नहीं होगा. वो तो सिर्फ तभी हो सकता है जब आप वापस से वही इंसान बन जाए.
Okay, right. Yeah, that's definitely not possible. Actually, we write that it's like not possible mathematically, not possible common sense also. All that, yeah, actually. No, thank you for correcting me.
you're welcome. You're welcome, Seema. And I was just listening to the conversation, and first of all, I would like to congratulate you, Seema, that at least आपको ये पता चला है कि there is something called attachment styles. Aren't you really grateful for it? I mean, once you're doing this healing, you're able to understand your own self. And let me tell you one thing: you will attract people of similar emotional maturity into your life. You will repel those who are more mature and be repelled by those who are less. इसका कहने का मतलब ये है, when I had this aha moment, when I was having this conversation with Akarma, unhealed will attract unhealed person in their life. Healed people will attract healed people. Is it making sense to you, Seema? So, that's all the conversation that we just had. You cannot expect the same thing if you're in the process of healing already.
Can I ask a question around
Yes,
this?
yes.
Actually, I was thinking on the same lines like since a week, I think. So when you said right, so this is a common thing like in your healing journey to listen and read that you attract the same kind of people, like same kind of people in whichever frequency you are vibrating, right? So I was questioning this and maybe analyzing this. So I want to put this question or thought to Akarma, Namika, and Kumar. So is it like when you heal, you attract? whatever, like if you are not healed or healed, whatever, like when you attract someone, is it like you will meet every kind of people, but you will associate with only those people who are at your level? Is it like that? और वैसे लोग आएंगे ही नहीं आपकी लाइफ में जो आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी के नहीं है, या आएंगे बट
What
आप
you just
एसोसिएट.
said, कि you will only resonate with people who you now resonate with. आपका जो thought process, अब आपकी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई है लाइफ के बारे में, अपने बारे में, आपने जो सीख लिया है, जो लेसन लर्न कर लिए हैं, अब यू विल ओनली रेजोनेट विद पीपल हु स्पीक योर लैंग्वेज.
सो इज इट लाइक कि से आपकी लाइफ में एट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे 10 लोग
आपकी लाइफ में तो हर टाइप के लोग आएंगे ही. ऐसा वो मतलब यहाँ हम जैसे इट्स नॉट, यू आर नॉट लाइक अ मैग्नेट की वो अट्रैक्ट या रिपेल हो रहा है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. सो yesterday when नामिका संडे को कॉल हो रही थी, तो शी सेड कि जो उसने वर्ड यूज किया था, लाइक दैट, कि इट्स नॉट दैट यू आर अट्रैक्टिंग, बट इट इज मोर लाइक you are getting attracted to. So change the vocabulary by saying I am getting attracted to those people now. लोग तो हर टाइप के ही आएंगे आपके पास. हाँ, हर टाइप के लोग ही आएंगे. उसकी कैसे फिल्टरिंग करोगे? उसकी थोड़ी कोई फिल्टरिंग कर सकता. पर आप जो रेजोनेट करोगे, या जिन लोगों के साथ बात करने का मन करेगा, जिन लोगों के साथ आगे कुछ मन करेगा कि हाँ इनसे मिलें, इनसे बात करें, अच्छा लगता है इनके साथ बैठे उठे, वो उस टाइप के ही लोग होंगे जिस टाइप के आप बन चुके हो. बाकी सारे फिल्टर आउट हो जाएंगे.
और अगर आप
हो सकते हैं,
और फिर भी अगर आप अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है यू हैव डन इनफ हीलिंग, और फिर भी और कनेक्टिंग विद द पीपल लाइक जो तुम्हारे पास्ट में, या मतलब काइंड ऑफ जिस चीज जो आप नहीं चाहते हो, जो आप थे और आप जिसे हील करना चाहते थे, बट यू आर स्टिल कनेक्टिंग विद सच पीपल, मतलब इज इट एन इंडिकेशन कि अभी भी और एट सेम पुराने वाले लेवल पे?
ऑफ कोर्स. सो अगेन इंडिकेशन इन द सेंस कि यहाँ पे 2-3 प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं. या तो आपने डायग्नोसिस ही गलत किया है. आपको जो लग रहा है कि मेरी ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, और आप कोई गलत ही बीमारी का इलाज कर रहे हो जो बीमारी है ही नहीं. और आपको लग रहा है कि मैं तो इतने दिन से इलाज कर रही हूँ, तो हो क्यों नहीं रहा. तो डायग्नोसिस की प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है कि आपने ठीक से डायग्नोस ही नहीं किया चीज़ को, समझा ही नहीं कि फिक्स क्या करना था. और दूसरी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है कि आपका मेथड गलत है. समझ में आ गया, आपने डायग्नोसिस भी ठीक कर ली, बट जो उस मेथड से कर रहे हो, जो दवाई खा रहे हो, वो दवाई गलत है. और तीसरा ऑप्शन ये भी हो सकता है कि मेथड भी ठीक है, आपने डायग्नोस भी ठीक कर लिया है, पर आप इतने शिद्दत से कर ही नहीं रहे. दवाई पड़ी है आपके टेबल पे, आप खा ही नहीं रहे हो. तो या जब मन करता है, जब टाइम मिलता है तो खा लेते हो. अगर आपको डॉक्टर एक डोज देता है कि दिन में 4 बार खानी है और ऐसे करना है, तो आपको करना है. अब आपको बोल रहे हो टाइम नहीं है, मैं तो आज बहुत बिजी थी, 2 दिन से खाई नहीं दवाई, और फिर बोल रहे मैं खा तो रही हूँ, तो ठीक क्यों नहीं हो रहा?
Why I'm resonating with this third one? ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे ही सुना रहे हो ये.
Okay, one more thing I will add to this. छोटी सी चीज़ है, maybe relevant for you, not relevant for you, but इसको हम whenever we say ना कि we are attracting the same kind of people or the same things or same, ये चीज़ हम बोल देते हैं, which is, and apparently it's true also, क्योंकि इतने तो observant सब होते हैं. But still, I would say that before just going to that conclusion, it's important to see things from like different expanded angle. क्योंकि कुछ तो होगा जो बदला है, right? If you have done some work, because no work goes waste here. जो भी inner work, even you become self-aware about one thing, then also it needs to be seen कि कुछ तो बदला है. Maybe ये बदला है that earlier what you were not able to see, now at least you're able to see. पहले तो आप कैच भी नहीं कर पा रहे थे. You were like walking like you were blind or something. But कम से कम आप देख तो पा रहे हो सकता है बाकी की सारी स्टोरी सेम हो, right? But at least you are able to see. पहले तो देख भी नहीं पा रहे थे. That growth is still growth. Right. And the second thing is कि इतना linear नहीं होता है, right? That let's suppose कि you find or attract another person and you are attracted to them and it's still going on. So maybe yes, one or two things are same, but still ये एक अवेयरनेस लाने की जरूरत है कि फिर भी मैं एक बार देखती हूँ कि क्या है और भी क्या चीजें हैं. एंड ऑफ कोर्स ये एनालिसिस से तो उतने अच्छे से होगा नहीं. सो यू हैव टू गेट इनटू योर फीलिंग्स एंड गोइंग इवन फॉरवर्ड देन योर फीलिंग्स यू हैव टू लुक इनटू योर इंट्यूशन एंड ऑल दैट. वो तो है ही. तीसरी चीज ये कि कई बार हम अपने लिए बहुत ज्यादा एनालिटिकल हो जाते हैं. ठीक है. दिस इज फॉर यू शुचि, फॉर यू,
Right.
आपके लिए ही बोल रही हूँ. ठीक है
Right.
कि हम दूसरों को तो जो भी मैथमेटिकली करते ही हैं, बट उससे ज्यादा दूसरों को तो छोड़ दो, हम अपने आप को बहुत एनालिटिकली जज करने की कोशिश करते हैं. जैसे कि अभी मैं फर्स्ट स्टेप में थी, नाउ द सेकंड स्टेप, नाउ द थर्ड स्टेप. जैसे कि इट्स लाइक गोइंग इन अ लीनियर फैशन. इट्स नॉट गोइंग इन अ लीनियर फैशन, इट्स गोइंग इन अ स्पाइरल. इट इज ऑलवेज गोइंग इन अ स्पाइरल. ठीक है. और वो सेम चीजें आपके साथ होंगी लाइफ में. लाइफ इज डिजाइंड इन अ वे टू टेस्ट यू इफ यू हैव ग्रोन और नॉट.
Right.
बट
Right.
वो
That's
सेम
yeah.
चीजें होंगी, बट फिर भी वो चीजें सेम नहीं होंगी. देयर वुड बी समथिंग डिफरेंट इन इट.
That's true.
इसको 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 समझने के लिए ना, इट्स थिंक ऑफ इट, इमेजिन लाइक तुमने पेपर पे एक सर्कल बनाया, तो अगर तुम 2 डायमेंशंस में देखते हो तो तुम्हें लगता है कि यू हैव कम बैक टू द सेम पॉइंट, तो यू आर गोइंग इन सर्कल्स. तो आपको लगता है कि मैं तो फिर वहीं आ गई, जैसे ही हो गया, एंड होता है. बट रियलिटी में ये सर्कल नहीं है, ये 3 डायमेंशनल स्पाइरल है. इसको 3 डायमेंशन में देखोगे तो आपको 2 डायमेंशन में वो सेम पॉइंट दिख रहा है, बट थर्ड डायमेंशन आपका लेवल चेंज हो गया.
अब आप एग्जैक्टली वैसे रिएक्ट या फील नहीं कर रहे हो जैसे पहले करते थे, भले बहुत स्लाइट डिफरेंस हो, बट स्टिल.
भले स्लाइट डिफरेंस हो, बट एग्जैक्टली वो तो नहीं होगा जो पहले था. तो इट कैनॉट बी अ सर्कल, इट कैनॉट बी अ फुल सर्कल बैक टू द सेम पॉइंट, because for you to come back to the same point, you have to keep remaining the same person, but you're not the same person. आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग चेंज हो गई है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग चेंज होने का मतलब ऊपर भी जा सकती है, नीचे भी जा सकती है. तो आप चौथे माले पे भी पहुंच सकते हो और बेसमेंट में भी पहुंच सकते हो. सो अप डाउन रहेगी. इट विल नॉट बी, इट्स नॉट कि आप अगर यू कम बैक in life in the same circle. So it's never a circle, it's always a spiral. It has levels. इसकी थर्ड डायमेंशन भी देखने की कोशिश करो कि you are going vertically up down also.
Can we say can we see it as an assessment, or again I'm analyzing?
As an assessment मतलब?
मतलब कि now it is like came into spiral again, repeating the same thing. So whatever you healed within, it's kind of an assessment for ourselves, if we have how much we healed. और
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. आपके रिएक्शंस और रिस्पॉन्सेज चेंज हो रहे हैं, कैसे हो रहे हैं. ये भी पॉसिबल है कि लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल आपके घर में किसी से झगड़ा हुआ. 2 साल पहले भी झगड़ा हो रहा था, अभी भी झगड़ा हो रहा है. लेकिन आप ये नहीं बोल सकते 2 साल पहले भी झगड़ा हो रहा था, अभी भी झगड़ा हो रहा है, तो अभी तो सब कुछ सही है. 2 साल पहले जब झगड़ा होता था तो हो सकता है आप 6 दिन तक नाराज रहते थे, अभी हो सकता है कि आप 6 घंटे में रिकवर हो जाते.
That's so correct.
So is that not worth noting?
Right.